Hello, YouTubers. Thank you once again for tuning in to my channel again. And today I have another Transformers Combiner Wars figure review for you guys tonight. And as you can tell, this is Stunticon Dragstrip. Even though the box itself says Decepticon Dragstrip. Which, of course, he is still a Decepticon, just more classified as a Stunticon for the racing vehicle team that he is a part of to form Menasor. So anyways, on with the review. So this is the front of the box. You have the vehicle mode, some nice robot mode artwork on the back, on the face of the box, but not on the face of the plastic. And there's a card included, and the Transformer logo on the side, the Combiner Wars logo on the top, and so yeah, that's the front of the box. Here is the side, where the front says combine to form, and it's pointing to Superion only because that is the first wave that Dragstrip came a part of. He was released in the first wave, which had included the components to create Superion, so that's why it shows Superion. But really, it also shows, excuse me, it also shows Menasor, because he's, like I said, a Stunticon, and that he is 1 out of 5 Stunticons that form Menasor. So that is the stuff on the right side. There's nothing on the left. And here is the back. So like I said before, Dragstrip is the first Stunticon that we get in the first wave of the Combiner Wars toy line, and that's why it shows him combined with Superion here, and mixed in with the team of aerial bots that we've gotten so far. Here's his robot mode, his vehicle mode, 9 steps to transform him from robot mode to vehicle mode and back again. And just a small description saying that he's a ruthless Decepticon racer because his alt mode is a race car, an indie race car, and just other stuff that usually has to be placed on all toy product boxes. Here is the card, and like I said in my last Transformer Combiner War figure review, the card, the image of the card does not match up with the figure itself. As you can see the figure in the background, the figure gets a gray chest piece, while the character on the card gets a yellow chest piece. And you can also tell that there are 2 tires on the shoulders when there's only 1 on the figure. 2 wheels on the shoulder of the character on the card, that is. And he gets a blaster here on the card, but he gets a little blade, knife or sword, or whatever you pick, for the figure. And what else? He has normal legs with race car pieces when on, well, that's on the card, but on the figure, he has the shocks, you know, that can go out to the wheels, and also the tail fin from the feet, and that's on the figure. Another thing is the Decepticon logo is right here on the right, on his left side, coming from his point of view, when on the figure, that's just on the card, on the figure it shows up on his right side from his point of view. So that is it for the card, and of course on the back is just the branding of the Transformers Generation toy line that the Combiner Wars is a part of. Next we have the instructions. Which include 9 steps to put him into vehicle mode from robot mode, as I already told you about. To get him, and yes, like I already said, 9 steps to transform him from vehicle mode to robot mode. Switch over the instruction manual, and you get 15 steps to put him into limb mode of an arm. And then you get 6 steps to put him into leg form, into a limb mode of a leg. And that's that for the instructions. One thing I've noticed, that the instruction manuals have shrunk over the years. They used to be bigger for other figures in the past.
Hi, I'm Claire Thomas.
Now on to the figure. So he's a pretty cool Stunticon, a nice representation of the character according to the color words purple or magenta and orange or yellow orange. I don't know which really, but the only one gripe is that, yeah, he doesn't have all 6 wheels as he used to have in the Generation 1 TV show of Transformers. And I do believe he did get 6 wheels in on his G1 counterpart form, when he only gets 4 on this mold. .360-degree rotation. There is the top, or the very front of the vehicle mode, alt mode. Another gripe, as we zoom in on the head, is that the mouth, the head's kind of big. I don't know why the chin piece is the same color as the rest of the face when the mouth is up here, not down here. That's a pretty big chin piece, and at first I was not interested in getting the figure due to that minor gripe that the mouth is higher than it looks to be. Like, I think they could have colored the chin guard a different color instead of blending in with the rest of the face, making it look like the mouth is supposed to be lower. But that's not too bad of a gripe. It's not that big of a deal. I can get used to that. And like I said, his first weapon is a blade, knife, sword type of thing. And as you can tell, he has two pegs to hold it. He can hold it like a gun blade, or he can hold it as a knife or sword weapon. Second accessory piece that he comes with is the hand foot piece, like we get all of the deluxe figures, where it has a bit of a gun in the front, a peg to connect to the figure for arm or for either limb mode, and of course underneath is the fingers, and this is the here are the fingers, here's the thumb, and of course if you were to get these figures yourself, you would know how it works out, that you bend it like that, and then you bring up the thumb and curl it to either side, so it could be either the right arm or the left arm. And the peg hole that goes all the way through, so you can hold the weapon upon choosing which right arm or left arm you want him to be. And that's it for the accessories. Now let's transform them to first arm mode. So what you want to do is fold in the hands, turn the head around so it's not visible in the other modes. I'm trying to say. Yes, we do leave the front of the vehicle mode folded back. Next we fold out the connector peg, which is pretty large. Then we take the legs, connect them together, turn the complete thing, the waist around, and let's say he's going to be a right arm, so you will want this side, the back side of the legs, to point outward. Then here's the peg hole on the bottom, and that is where the hand accessory comes in. But that is not all, because with the arms you want to turn them completely upside down. The shoulder panels you would want to put here, because here is a peg hole and a panel slot, or a different type of peg that goes into the peg hole on the side. Next, take the arms and point the inside outward and fold at the elbow inward towards the body, or top of the chest if it were. And so that is it for arm mode. So that's pretty good articulation. double jointed elbow articulation, that is, and of course, wrist swivel due to the fact that it's a peg and peg hole system. So now we're going into leg mode. So of course take the hand foot accessory out of the peg hole on the bottom of the feet, and then take this entire back assembly of the tail fin and what is behind the rear tires and fold that up. And there's a secondary peg hole on the inside. Then push up on the legs, on the lower legs, so the upper legs slide in to the lower legs. And you're practically are changing him back into vehicle mode, but not really. So next we take the arms and put them back into this form of as if you were going to put them in vehicle mode, like I already stated, and they just fold into the legs. Oh, I see what's going on here. There is a tab right there that tabs into this tab hole right there. That little slot. Then raise up the connector peg. That's it for the figure. Turn the second accessory into foot mode. And there you go. You now have Dragstrip in a leg. In his leg combination form. And it's better to do it this way because with the connector peg you can go like this when combining him with Motor Master to form Menasor. So just so that there be knee articulation. Next, fold in the connector peg back into its original position. Move the head from the front panel of the vehicle mode back to where it belongs, as if you were doing robot mode, but still keep it pointing inward, because then you remove the front of the vehicle mode from this peg, because there is a peg hole right in there. Turn the whole assembly around, and there's a tab here, right there, on both sides, as you can see. And they're going to tab into these tab holes right in here and here. So those slot in, and then just put the tail fin back into its proper place. And when you're going to go from robot mode to vehicle mode, or limb mode to vehicle mode, or whichever position you have him in, from that position to vehicle mode, you'll want to pay attention to this, that there are two tabs on both sides around the waist, and there are two slots here and here. So that's how those connect. So there you go for vehicle mode. So yeah, he's a pretty nice indie racer car. Though the only gripe for vehicle mode I have is that if you're not pushing down hard enough on the vehicle, the wheels are not going to touch the ground and roll, making the vehicle look like it's moving properly. Now I'm going to transform him back to robot mode. So another thing that you may notice when doing robot mode is that you have to turn the waist around so that this piece here on the yellow and the rest of the waist piece line up to form to make it look like it actually connects. So that's robot mode. And so now it's time to do the articulation of the figure. So like I said, there is elbow articulation where the forearm, the lower half of the arm can go that far. And that is on both. That is for both arms. And we also get bicep swivel, where it can rotate 360 degrees. And if you notice right here, the shoulders are on ball joints. So he can rotate his arm 360 degrees and also go out that far. And that's for both arms. Next, the head is on a flap, so I don't think it's really ball joint. It could be, I don't know. I can't really tell. But that's as far down as he can look downward. That far up, well, it's not really going up, it's just still looking forward. But his head can rotate 360 degrees. Next, due to transformation, the waist can rotate 360 degrees. And there's a knee joint for both legs. Thigh rotation 360 degrees. And the legs are also on ball joints right there and also right there, so he can practically do the splits like so. But it's really rather not comfortable for, I'm just babbling on unnecessarily. Sorry for that. There's one more thing that I have to cover in vehicle mode, but I'll take care of that in a moment. Now for the size comparison. Here he is with the fellow Decepticon with the Earth vehicle form is Cybertron Mudflap, who I believe is a Voyager. So that's a Voyager compared to a Deluxe. Next we have Dark of the Moon Crankcase, who's a fellow Decepticon and a fellow Deluxe class figure. Last but not least, we have Cybertron Crumple Zone, who obviously is also a Voyager class figure. So that's how he scales with the Voyagers. And of course the leaders would be taller and the Legend class would be leg high or so. But I don't really have any non-military type leader class figures, nor any Legend class Decepticons. Because as I'm saying, the leader class figures are either jets or tanks. And I really have no Legend class Decepticons. But that's it for that comparison. Okay. So, we are now going to go back to vehicle mode. And obviously, due to the fact that for leg form of combination of combiner mode, to put him into the leg form for combiner mode, with this little doohickey, there's no foot articulation, and obviously no arm articulation, hand rotation, but it makes up for it in bicep rotation. So that's that for robot mode. Now that we have him back into vehicle mode, you can tell that there's a peg hole right here, and then there's obviously one on the other side. That's where you can store his weapon, his blade weapon, and his hand-foot accessory, but it's just gonna look awkward and it doesn't even balance correctly. Not all four tires are on ground with that accessory. But like I said, you can store the weapon in either peg hole, so it can be a blaster or gun blade, and that's practically it for weapon storage, other than back here, which is not going to look all that necessary. And the lack of wheel rotation in vehicle mode is another gripe of mine for the figure. It's really quite a shame to waste the tires like that. That the tires are not reaching all the way down as they should be. Only the front tires are rotating. Barely the back. That's sad. Anyways, enough with the grapes. So this is how Dragstrip scales with mud flap. Obviously mud flap in length is longer. Width, I think Dragstrip is a bit bigger. And they're probably, I think they're the same in side to side. Well, like I already said wider. Why did I repeat that? Anyways. And obviously, mud flap is higher than Dragstrip as well. Next is crankcase. Dragstrip is obviously longer. Width, they're probably the same. Dragstrip is possibly a bit longer or wider in width. And other than the tire, crankcase is still higher up. Other than the tires, lifting crankcase off the ground that high, I think crankcase is still taller. And of course, other than the gun accessory too. And then we have crumple zone again. Obviously longer in length. Wider in width. And higher in height. So that's how Dragstrip scales with the other Decepticons that have a land mode that are not tanks or jets. Well, you understand that I made a mistake with saying the jet. Anyways, that is it for my Transformers Combining Wars Dragstrip Decepticon Stunticon Dragstrip figure review. And that's all I have to say about the figure. So I thank you all for watching. Thank you again for tuning in to my channel for this review. Please rate by liking, comment, share, subscribe, do whatever the heck else you want with all the videos here on my Dave Frost channel, as well as all the videos on my Mr. D Frost 2 channel. And I thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your week, for it is the first day of the week, Sunday. And remember, go forth and build on.